Fun Show. We hang out here Monday, 7 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. The rest of the week, watch the show in replay at BigDumbFunShow.com.
Big thanks to our guests tonight, the Biff Tannins, joining us on the Big Dumb Fun Show live at Studio 4 every Monday night. We feature live entertainment. In fact, if you're listening live and you listen to some of the music in between the beds and whatnot, I know you don't get to hear that later on when we replay stuff, or even on some of our affiliates, they'll put in, like country music or, God knows what. We're here for everybody, right? So, but if you're listening to the live stream and say you're watching online live, we do air a lot of local guys on there. Lately, our Twitter has been abuzz with some local bands from around the globe, is the best way I can describe them, submitting their stuff to us via the website at BigDumbFunShow.com/contact. You'll be able to actually submit your band's information to the Big Dumb Fun Show. We'll review it, and your stuff may get played on the air. We just have to clear up a couple of the the rights and royalty type the business. You know what I'm saying? And that might get a couple spins on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Maybe even get in the master playlist. Who knows? But big thanks to the guys at the Biff Tannins for calling in tonight, or for stopping by, and then of course Elliot Threet for calling in tonight, talking a little politics there, and
taking our call.
And taking our call, absolutely. Next week, the Green Music Brothers. These guys, they're on fire as well. Recently, they were on the weekend local news with KCTV5. They were out there, and they were introducing the show, like coming in and out from break. They were playing live in the studio over there. So, yeah, I got the text from Joe and started listening in, and that was just awesome. So they're going places, and we'll talk with them next week on the show. And of course, we mentioned
they've been on the show before.
Yeah, they've been on the show before a couple times. They were even at our big stand up for cerebral palsy show. Played
at the
live.
Westport Coffee House.
Yeah, they're just a couple of great guys. We'll talk with them next week, and of course, see if we can get Jennifer Blanc Bien on the show. From The Victim. She's at Sundance right now, and we'll get the full scoop from her next week on the Big Dumb Fun Show. There's just two reasons why you need to be listening to the Big Dumb Fun Show next week.
I thought those were Venkman and Aaron.
Well, that's the main two reasons, but every once in a while we do have guests on the show that are worth listening to as well.
And once in a while, Rena's here.
Every once in a while, she's got a touch of the flu. I hope I'm not coming down with it. Luckily, I've just been healthy as a horse this winter, so knock on wood, I hope that I'm not going to get this deadly flu, like the flu of the. I mean, we always have the storm of the century every year.
Yeah,
we always have the storm of the century,
and
we always have the flu of the century as well. People get the flu every year. I don't understand why it's such big news.
It's the flu season.
It's why they call it the flu season. People get the flu all the time,
and you're more susceptible only because you have a child.
Yeah,
Although
and she gets everything.
Isn't in school yet.
She's not, but when she went to daycare, those flu
sick kids everywhere.
Oh man, just sick kids
sniffling,
everywhere,
sneezing,
just gross,
snot running.
Gnurk, the big news out of New York has been PayPal. You know PayPal, right? They came out. They have their changes that they're getting ready to release to the public. Have you ever had a problem with PayPal? Have you ever bought or sold anything on eBay and you've had to negotiate payments through PayPal or via PayPal?
I've never really had any problem with PayPal.
See, the problem that they're having is that they're so scared of fraud, and rightly so. It's an easy thing to do, I would assume. They're so scared of it that they put these restrictions on being able to accept payments online. Of course, everybody's shopping online right now, and PayPal makes it easy for consumers to do that without having to pay like a credit card processor, and they make some scratch off of it as well. But the problem with PayPal is that it doesn't seem to be very hard for them to just all-out freeze your funds. And that's happened to me before. I had a guy use my eBay account to buy a car, and
somebody uses a PayPal account to buy a car.
They paid the
now
commission.
That sounds suspicious.
The eBay commission, just like a couple $100, and then it all fell through, and we had to get reimbursed because he didn't want the car, and so PayPal's like, yeah, we're going to review this. Give us 21 days. What? 21 days? Yeah, they're going to hold. They're going to hold on to my money for 21 days.
Well, I make some interest off it.
And then they came back and they froze the account. And so then you had to go back to them, and you have to prove that it's very difficult. And apparently for charities, it's even more difficult because you don't have all those records as a charity. You don't have all the records that you can then fax to PayPal. Like it can be a very lengthy process, and PayPal, I'm sure, is getting inundated, and all in the name of trying not to be frauded.
Well, and here I'm reading on CNN.com, in which they're basically saying the company routinely freezes funds for 21 days if it thinks there's a fraud risk, and its terms give it the right to extend the freeze for up to 180 days. Who's committing the fraud? The buyer and the seller, or PayPal here?
But it's per their terms of agreement, though. I mean, you're clicking that you agree to that when you send anything through PayPal or you accept anything through PayPal. My wife sold a doll a couple weeks ago, and I just got the email now saying that your funds are available. Like there's a little bit of a lag process, and if you need that cash fast, don't use PayPal. But I think it's kind of like the Ticketmaster thing, where you're the only dog in the fight, and you're going to have all this ridiculousness that happens. But what can you do? Either you buy your tickets through Ticketmaster and you have to pay those awful fees, or you just don't go?
You go to like brownbag.com, one of those other...
Like a StubHub?
Yeah, StubHub.
Somehow, somebody's paying that cost. Somebody's paying that. Like, they're going to transfer that cost to you. At StubHub, you may have to pay a higher rate because you're probably buying tickets that are unavailable, right? I don't know. Somehow they're making money, but PayPal needs to do something different. And the big news story is that they're getting ready to announce some sort of a change to the way that you will do PayPal. Now, whether this is going to be for the good or for bad, we don't know yet. We would only assume that it's going to make it easier for consumers to transfer money back and forth.
Well, that's the idea. But here again on the CNN story, what happened, a gentleman named Brooke Drum, an entrepreneur who sells a 3D printer after running a successful Kickstart campaign, he launched an online store to sell his print-bot machines. More than $100,000 rolled in. PayPal freaked out and froze our funds, Drum said. They needed references and bank statements and tax records. This went on for months, and even with all the paperwork,
these were donations.
They still ended up holding $50,000. We finally got the money, but it was an untold amount of stress and sleepless nights.
These are donations that he had to just prove that these people really wanted to donate to him.
Or they were buying his 3D printing machine. And PayPal's like, oh, well, wait a minute. We don't know if they really want to buy this.
See, that's even worse. Somebody, hey, like say you're offering a service that I want to purchase, right? So I'm going to pay you via PayPal $100 for said service, and then I expect you to give me that service. It sounds dirty, but I didn't intend to that. So now you're obligated to provide the product or service, but you don't have the money yet because PayPal is freezing it because they think something shady's going on. Right?
Listen, no pay, no play.
Okay, all right, yeah, but I paid, though. PayPal hasn't paid you. Yeah. Is it my fault?
Well,
that's the 3D printer guy.
It really isn't. It really isn't your fault because you're just delivering the transaction in the form and the manner that the person made it available.
The money has been taken out of my account.
Maybe he should have said, "Listen, you need to send a money order."
Yeah. Could be.
Send me a check. Use a credit card. Something else besides PayPal.
This is nerdy news, and we need to see what the big announcement is and maybe mention it next week to kind of follow up on it. I'd be interested to see how it goes. This could be a huge change to the online auction sites and donations, Kickstarter campaigns. This could be big news, a big change to happen in 2013 because nothing ever happened with the big Facebook announcement. Remember, that was supposed to be last Tuesday. And I never heard a damn thing. I never heard a peep. They made such a big splash at the CES conference last week that their big announcement of a Facebook search engine would happen very soon, and I never heard anything about it. So we'll keep in touch on that as well as a part of our nerdy news during the week because I find it interesting. Hopefully you do too. Until next week, with the Green Music Brothers and Jennifer Blanc being, and hopefully Rena, we'll see ya.